We'll do a quick demonstration here on how to use WinSCP to transfer files from your computer to your web space. To start off with, if you look at my screen here, you can see that I've gone to esweb.mcc.edu/tilde and K. Bernard. That's a student account. There's nothing there. You can see that there's no space. All it says it's index of. This is what your web spaces should be starting off as before you upload any files. Next, I'll go to WinSCP and I'll log in. The host name is eshudson.mcc.edu. Username and password. These are the same as you use to log into Blackboard or Gmail. I'll click Login. The first time you use it, it might ask you something about a public key or a cache key. When you do that, you can say yes for it, and then that'll be the only time it asks you if you're working from a home computer. Alright, if you look on the right-hand side, this is your personal drive on Mott's network, and you can see that there's a public HTML folder there. On the left-hand side is my computer. Yours, of course, will look different. But in there, I have a public HTML folder. You need to browse to the location where your public HTML folder is created. So I'll double-click on my public HTML folder on my computer, and I'm going to double-click on it on the other side, which is the web space. I'm going to drag and drop my web page. So index.html is my first assignment. I'll copy that one. So there's assignment number 1. I'm going to double click in my CMW100 folder that I created. Notice that it's all lowercase and no spaces. Also notice that my other page was index.html. You might have also named it index.html. You have to make sure those are exact. Do not get creative here. A Linux server, which is what we're running from, requires lowercase. It must be index.html or HTML for the site to run. That is the default page. So I'm going to double click on my CMW100 folder that I created, and in there is another index.html. That's assignment 2. So that's week 2 assignment. So therefore there are 2 index.htmls. If, for example, I were to drag and drop the second one over the first, it would overwrite the file, creating a situation that I don't want. So I'll go up a folder. I'm going to go to the web space real quick so you can take a look at how it works. So I'll refresh. And this is what the world sees. That's my homework 1. If I click on CMW100, I get a page not found. And that's exactly correct for this moment. The CMW100 folder was not created on the server yet, and index.html was not found on the server. Notice the .html. There's something I'm going to have to fix in mine. Okay, I'll go back. Go back to WinSCP. I'm going to drag and drop my whole CMW100 folder. That will contain not only the folder, but the files within. Now if I go into CMW100 on both sides, it works. Alright, we're done with the interruption of the clock. And we can see that both sides match. One thing that some students notice is the size of the file. It changes. I have no explanation as to why, but it's typical of this application. I'll go back to my web page, I'll click refresh, and I'll click on the folder. Index.html was not found on the server. Well, how can that be? I copied it. Well, I didn't name the file correctly. This is referring to .html, which is the link that I created on my first page. I can verify this in my code. There's my code. There's .html. So I have 2 things that I could do here. Number 1, I'd go in and change my code for my web page, and that would solve part of my problem and just re-upload the web page. Or I could change the name of my second page from HTML to HTML. I'm going to do that. So I'm in my CMW100 folder on both sides. I'm going to go into the one on the left, rename, add an L, and I'm going to drag and drop that file and watch what happens. This is a mess that many students end up with. Now I have two. The reason why I have two is HTML and HTML are two different files. So I'm going to delete out the HTML. Okay, so now I've indexed that HTML on both sides in the CMW100 folder. I'll refresh my page, click on CMW100, and there's my assignment 2. And that concludes how to upload files using WinSCP, including some of the common issues that students encounter.